Thank you for tuning in to Three Minds, One Mic. It's the regular folk talk show podcast where we talk with regular folks about their opinions and perspectives on life and current events. With me always is Anthony and Radu, and we're glad that you tuned in. Hi, and thank you again for tuning in to Three Minds, One Mic. Radu, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. Thank you for making this happen. Anthony, what's going on with you?
Not much today. Been good.
Nice. Thanks for being here. So once again, we do have another guest. Super excited about that. This is my stepson, or my oldest son, as I call him. But he's here to join us. His name is Josh, and let's welcome him on right away.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here.
Good to see you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming on. This is really exciting and looking forward to it. So go ahead and just let us know a little bit about yourself and where you're from, like your background, what you got going on, what your passions are in life, and how you,
Man, like your life story, kind of what you're asking me.
The abridged version, you know. I already know it, but I think our viewers might.
Yeah, I'll start with first memory. Yeah, born raised here in Albuquerque. Graduated from high school here in Albuquerque. Went to college. Got the opportunity to backpack in Europe for a little while I was going to college for 3 months. Was training MMA. Wanted to do an MMA fight. COVID happened, kind of shut down athletic competition, and my dream growing up was always to be a cop for the Albuquerque Police Department, so ended up applying and joining the department. So I've been with APD for almost 5 years now. Now I'm currently a K-9 handler, which takes up a lot of my time, and super big believer. Believe in God, and that's a big part of my identity and who I am. And some of my passions are working out, spending time with my family, friends, snowboarding, going to church. I love reading, relaxing at home, watching TV, training with my dog, Vito. Yeah, that about sums it up. That's pretty life story right there. Yeah.
It's very cool. I like that's it's pretty neat. Kind of sounds like a lot packed in there, actually. And then you're what? You're about 30.
Yeah, 29. Yep.
So that's pretty accomplished. 5 years with APD, and you're in K-9. Is that rare for someone your age and someone that's been with the department so short of a time to move up that fast?
It kind of is, yeah. So after 2 years of patrol, the team showed some interest in me, and I in them, and just started hanging around them and seeing exactly what K-9's all about, and ended up realizing that that's what I wanted to do, and tested for the team after just 2 years of patrol. So that was pretty quick. Thank God. Been super blessed to be able to do that. It's super fun.
Nice. Yeah, definitely sounds blessed, but also sounds like you put your work in and established yourself too. So I'm sure with God's favor, I've seen it in your life. So it's pretty awesome. Tell us about Vito. What's going on with how do the K-9s work with the force? Do they breed them? How does that work?
Yeah, so I think I'll start real quick to give you guys an idea of what K-9 does. So APD K-9 does their apprehension dogs, which means that they are specializing in locating basically violent criminals. My dog doesn't do any drugs or bombs or anything like that. He just locates people. So I can only deploy my dog on someone that's basically has some serious felony charges and they're refusing to give up, like they're hiding or they're running or they're doing something of that nature. So that's what we do. Canine handlers are also, for APD, they're tasked as SWAT team members as well. So whenever I'm not running my dog Vito, I deploy as another member of the SWAT team on all SWAT callouts. So that's really fun as well. Kind of best of both worlds. Get to do the SWAT stuff and then the canine stuff. We deploy our dogs for different things like building searches. Like if someone breaks into a huge warehouse or something like that, we'll use a dog to search the warehouse because it's the safest and most effective method. Um, we'll use them for open air area searches. Like if someone's hiding in an open air environment, that's really dangerous for us because we have no idea where they are. They could be hiding underneath a
Right.
trailer, and just lying in wait. It can be dangerous for sure. So using our dogs kind of is really safe for us and the suspects. We use them on area searches, and then we'll use them on SWAT calls as well. Like if someone tries to run away from us or something like that. And then so how it works basically. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. It sounds like you were just about to get into what I was going to ask.
Yeah. So how it works is there's a company in Southern California called Adlerhorst, and it's basically a family that specializes in flying to Europe and testing police dogs or potential police dogs in Europe. It's a pretty it's like kind of a niche thing, almost maybe like jujitsu is here or something like that. But doing a dog sport, like training dogs in obedience and biting sleeves and things like that, is something that they like to do in Europe a lot. So they have
Huh.
these clubs of people that come together and train dogs. And so the family that lives in Southern California, they fly out to Europe, Western Europe, usually like Holland, Germany, um, France, countries like that, test dogs. They'll buy them if they find a dog that they think would be a good police dog, fly them over here, and then police departments from all over the country will go to Southern California, test these dogs, select a dog, and then go through a course teaching the dog how to be a police service dog. And then so that's how it worked. My dog was selected by my chain of command, my higher ups. I went to school for 6 weeks with him, and we basically bonded and learned. He learned how to be a police dog, and we built a bond. And yeah, that's how that works.
Oh yeah.
And how long have you had Vito? How long have you guys been working together?
6 months.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you guys, you're tight, right? I mean, he's your partner. He's your partner.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
you guys are pretty close. And
Yeah. He's almost like my best friend.
cool.
He's always with me 24/7. We're on call 24/7, 365. So he's pretty much never more than 50. I have to be in my K-9 vehicle with him in the back, just ready to respond at basically the drop of a hat anywhere in the city. So we're always together. We have a super good friendship, super good bond. The communication with him is almost, obviously it's not like talking to a person or anything close to that, but like I could say multiple words and he's just waiting for the commands that he knows, that he's listening for my voice and the exact command, and he knows what to do, and he's very obedient and knows what I'm talking about.
Wow.
And in turn, so not only can he read me, but I can also read him. I can tell how he's feeling, what he's literally what he's thinking, the things that he's taking in, like what he's smelling, what's interesting to him, which helps me be able to read. Um, you know, s- I can start to tell when he's onto somebody's scent.
Wow.
I can literally see a behavior change in him just in the way he
That's very
acts. Like,
cool.
yeah, we have a super tight bond. It's awesome.
And does he, I'm sure he senses you too. Like if you're getting nervous or something, or he probably responds as well. So,
Absolutely, yeah. He definitely can tell um how what I'm feeling. And also like he knows when it's time to work, and when it's not time to work, when we're just at the house and I get him out of my car to take him, just put him in his kennel here at my house, he's just chilling like just a normal dog. But when then I take him out of the car to go to work, and he's turned on and switched on, so he's very, very smart. Right away when I open the door, he starts looking around and he's smelling and he's listening and he's trying to find out what we're gonna do. So
so he
he's
knows
very,
when
very smart.
he's on duty.
He absolutely knows. Yeah, he knows. He can tell.
That's,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That is very cool. So being a police officer and K-9 and SWAT and doing all the things that you do and every day, and you're on call at the drop of a notice, like you said, how do you manage to stay chill? How do you manage to stay unscathed by the world, if that's the right terminology? If you are, I mean, how do you stop yourself from becoming bitter with some of the stuff that you see and that goes on?
Yeah, so it was really hard for me at first, really, really difficult going from a patrol officer where you clock in and clock out. When you clock out, you're just done. You can just shut it off, turn off your phone. No one's going to try to call you in. You can just relax. To being on call 24/7. And, there's many, many nights where, probably more nights than not, where you're sleeping and you get woken up in the middle of the night. Um, there's late nights, early mornings. In the middle of that, there's a call out. So it was really difficult for me. Like, I had a lot of anxiety. It was really hard for me to relax because I felt like my phone was about to ring at any minute, because it oftentimes did.
Right.
But as time
Mm.
went on, I just got used to it. It became normal, and I was able to just live my life without thinking about the call out. So now I go to church, I go to the movies, I go to dinner, go to sleep, and if I get called out in the middle of it, it is what it is. So luckily, thank God, um, he's definitely given me the strength and just the peace to be able to do this really difficult thing. As for getting, I think you mentioned talking about people and
Yeah.
how to not. What were you saying?
Not be bitter against people in general. Like, you're dealing with criminals most of the time. You know what I mean? If all the time with your job, but I mean, you see that aspect of humanity that a lot of people don't see, I think. And so how does that not affect your outlook on people in general? Is kind of what I'm asking. Or does it?
It's definitely changed my perspective with people. Like, for example, if we're helping out a unit of detectives that are doing surveillance on, say, a homicide offender, and they're trying to find a good place to try to take him into custody, and they're doing undercover surveillance on him, and we're in the area to help out and ultimately help take him into custody. I've seen these guys will do very normal stuff, like they take their kids to church and go to church for an hour, and then pick their kid up from the kids area of church and go back. They go get some ice cream and they go home, and they do very normal stuff despite the fact that they had just killed someone within the last few days. So that was pretty interesting to me, to just understand how criminals work. Some of them, what they do, they're just normal. They do normal stuff, even though maybe they might not be normal.
Right.
Um, so that kind of changed my perspective about when I'm out in public, about, like, you walk into Walmart and you don't think that anyone there is violent or dangerous, but they probably are. So that's changed my perspective. Um, just kind of trying to be more aware of what's going on and what people are saying. Oftentimes they're going to tell you what they're going to do if you just listen to them, and like they'll be like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna stab you," and some people might be like, "Oh yeah, sure, this guy's crazy," like, whatever,
Uh-huh.
weird thing to say, man. But then you're like, no, like, people oftentimes will tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna act differently. So yeah, definitely changed my
Wow.
perspective with people. But I definitely feel like I still give people the benefit of the doubt. I understand people are just people. They're I've met so many people recently, actually, within like the last week or two, where I talk to them, and at first they're like just normal. Hey, how are you? Good. How are you? And then all of a sudden I talk to them a little bit more, and they start telling me what's going on with their life. Like, oh man, like me and my longtime girlfriend, who I have a baby with, it's not working. She's breaking up with me, and my life is just horrible right now, and I'm having trouble with that, and now I'm picking up alcohol, and I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm just listening to them, and I'm just like, I can see this person that seems so normal, and you're just like, oh, whatever, just a normal guy. But he's going through one of the hardest times in his life. So I feel like I have a lot of grace with that. I feel like I have a lot of understanding with people because I understand that the reason why they're doing this XYZ crazy thing might be because of some crazy thing that happened to them. So I just try my best to be very understanding, very respectful and patient and kind to people, because truly I know it's a very common phrase where, you know, you hear about be nice to people because you never know what they're going through, but that's so true. Like people are going through really hard stuff, and um you know, we just got to do our best to kind of be there for them in any way we can. So I try my best. I've tried my best since I joined the police department to do that by just being nice to people, listening to them, trying to understand them, not, you know, not be rude to them or not get bitter with them, but just kind of take each person as their own person.
Right. And that's still the same now, because when you started on patrol, you were, you know, normal patrol, you're pulling people over, you're engaging more with the public, whereas
Yeah.
now you're getting called out on these especially violent or
Mhm.
possibly violent altercations, if not always violent. I mean, you're like dealing now, it seems like you're really dealing with the worst of the worst, maybe. You know
Yeah.
what
The
I mean?
most violent people. Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah.
And do you have that same approach? Or I mean, that by the time you get called out, it's beyond that understanding. They're in trouble, and they're getting out of this two ways. Is that kind of where you're at that point?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, for sure. So when I was in patrol, I was able to talk to people so much more. And honestly, that's what I really miss about patrol is I'm able to talk to so much more people and kind of be there for them in a different way. Being in K-9, unfortunately, my job
Can't.
isn't really to talk to people. Like I'm gonna tell them stuff, but actually communicating with them is tough to do because oftentimes they don't want to talk. Ultimately, my actions are based on whatever they do. If they want to talk, we can talk. If they don't, if they want to run or fight, well, it kind of is what it is. Kind of can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But so yeah, that is something that I miss about patrol. But ultimately, even being in K-9, I do try my best to, as much as I can, just be respectful and polite to people.
Nice.
I know that there will never be one time in my life where I'll look at a situation that I handled with patience and grace and regret it. Like, oh man, I wish I was meaner to that guy. I know I will never think that once. Whereas on the other side, every time that I haven't handled it with patience or grace, I've always been like, man, I wish I handled that differently. So I try to take that memory and that knowledge with me in all my interactions.
Smart. That's good, because that helps you too. I think that's, you just explained what helps you not get bitter. You know, is keeping that and remembering the times where you kind of let that side of you show more than it should have. You know what I mean? When you're trying to be graceful and understanding, but whatever reason happened that made you not be that way in that particular instance is weighing on you later. And I get
I've
that.
seen the Greatest Showman. What's that about?
It's about with Hugh Jackman, and
Oh,
basically
and he's a singer, right?
he's a performer or entrepreneur or whatever you want to call it. Basically, just trying to make it in a really tough world. So that was kind of cool.
I've only seen clips of it, but it's cool.
Same. I like Hugh Jackman too. I really do. I mean, I've
He's a good
seen
actor.
mostly Wolverine, but still like him as an actor. Yeah.
Van Helsing.
Yes, Van
Yep.
Helsing. That's a
Good
very
one.
good one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was in that.
He was
With
him.
Kate Beckinsale too.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was in Van Helsing.
Yeah, she was the love interest of Van Helsing.
I don't have to watch it again. This has been so. I think I watched it when it first came out, like on video or whatever. So it's been a while since I've seen it.
That reminds me of this
Yeah, I
movie that
forgot
I
he did
saw that
that.
just came out on Netflix. It's called like I Frankenstein or something. Have you guys checked it out at all?
That's
Yeah,
a great movie.
yeah, I saw that
Oh,
one.
really?
I
It's a good movie.
Frankenstein is it the new
Yeah,
Guillermo
it was
del
different.
Toro one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that one was great. I watched that in New York.
Sweet. Well, I'll give it a.
He's
I'll
like a
check it out today
vigilante or
then.
something, right?
Frankenstein?
Yeah, I Frankenstein, isn't that?
I
What
don't
is
know.
that one about?
I'm thinking of the newest Frankenstein. I think the one
It
that
like
just
just
came
came out
out.
on
With
Netflix,
Poe?
right?
Yeah, with Oscar.
with
Yeah,
the Oscar,
Oscar
with
Isaac.
Oscar, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that I Frankenstein? Is that it?
I don't know.
Radu?
That's the one, yeah, the one that just came out on
Oh, okay.
Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of the other one with the dude that played Harvey Dent in Batman, and he played Frankenstein. He was like a hitman. He was like a hitman Frankenstein guy. He's going after werewolves or vampires or something.
Oh, yeah, right. That was a good one too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you guys know I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new Frankenstein's really good.
It was different. I think I might have been expecting something different, so I wasn't as engaged in it, like as engrossed. Like maybe kept waiting for something else to happen. So I might have to give it another chance. Oh, that was an Emma Stone, right? No, that was another one.
Mia Goth.
What was that one? What was that one?
Mia
Mia
Goth.
Goth? Okay.
Yeah. She's a good actress.
I'm trying to find out what that one was called, where he was like a hitman.
Wasn't he fighting gargoyles or
I don't know if
something
he
like
was
that?
I can't remember exactly what it was. I can't even remember the actor's name either. But yeah, that was a good one, and I don't remember a lot of it. It was a lot of action more than story on that one, of course. Whereas I Frankenstein is definitely a lot more story. We've been watching a lot of Stephen King stuff recently.
Oh, really?
Movies. Yeah, we just finished watching Secret Window with Johnny Depp, which I've seen before. But that was a good one if you've never seen it.
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I remember. I watched when I was younger.
Yeah, he's a writer, and he goes off to the secluded place. Yeah, I'd watch it again. It's pretty good because it's been a while since I've seen it, and then yeah, it was good watching it again.
Yeah, I remember there being like some twist about his memory or what's really happening or who he really is or something like that.
Right. Yeah, there's a twist for sure, but it was pretty good. What else? We're watching Welcome to Derry on HBO. It's the prequel before it,
How's that?
but it's a little limited. Yeah, it's awesome. But they release it. They're not Netflix, so they release one episode a week. So we got to wait every week to watch it. But it's pretty good. And it's tying in like a lot of stuff. It's tying in The Shining, Pet Cemetery, It, and there's some other like a lot of his novels. You just see bits of it in the movie because it's all like there is that It universe, and it just encompasses so much with Derry.
Yeah, I just started watching that too. I'm still on season 1. It's great.
Of Welcome to Derry?
Yeah.
Oh, there's only one. I think there's
only
6 episodes
Okay.
so far, and I think another one will come out Sunday.
Okay. Then
Yeah,
I
that's
must be
pretty
almost at the end. Yeah.
So you said also, Josh, that you snowboard and you hang out with friends. And where do you go snowboarding at?
Usually at Santa Fe, but I've been a couple places around Taos, Durango, Red River, Angel
Oh, it's
Fire.
beautiful up there.
Super pretty. It's super fun. Yeah, I'm hopefully trying to go soon. I actually want to try to get Anthony into snowboarding. Hope maybe this winter we'll see.
That'd be cool. You interested in that?
All the gear and stuff, or even renting it.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a cheap hobby, but it's
Yeah.
it's very and it's difficult. But once you get the hang of it, it's so fun.
Jaden and his girlfriend got season passes or like whatever, like passes for the snowboarding one, so they can go to any of like I think 3 lodges or 3 places or whatever, and
Wow.
whenever they want, because they go so often they do it. He has his own gear, she has her own gear.
That's awesome.
So I hear good things about it, but yeah, I just haven't done it yet.
And you've been skydiving too, right?
I have, yeah, that was really fun.
Was it?
Have you guys
You only been the one time?
Yeah, just the once. Yeah, it was tandem with an instructor. That'd be so cool to there's like a quick certification course and you can do it solo. I think that'd be really, really fun to do.
That would be sick. I always thought I would bungee jump. I would skydive before I bungee jumped. Just I don't know. I don't think I'll actually ever do either one of them. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick the skydiving because if something goes wrong, I feel like you're just done. Whereas with bungee, you could just injure yourself and be, paralyzed or whatever. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you should
and I'm
try to go
scared of heights.
skydiving. You should give it a shot.
Yeah, yeah. Once I drop another 200 pounds, I could give it a shot. Because I think 220 is like the max weight to do, especially tandem. So, and you can't
Are
not
you?
do a tandem.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. It could be like a goal to work towards.
It could be. I mean, it's not a passion. Not like a man. I just can't wait to skydive. It wouldn't. I don't think that motivates me as much as my motivation recently has been like, God has blessed me all my life, and He's really given me a lot of blessings, and I've taken them for granted forever. And so now I'm useless. I feel like I'm useless to Him, and I'm not because I'm doing this, and I feel like He's led me to do this podcast and get people together and to develop a love for people that I used to have before, that I'm starting to get back. And I like that. I like that side of me as opposed to the cynical, bitter Mike. So that's been really my motivation too, is like, I want to be more useful at doing things and be out there and maybe even take this kind of thing out in public, with what I mean with my phone and continue the show that way, depending on, I got big plans for Three Minds, One Mic, and different like little sub shows within that podcast. So yeah, it's just kind of stuff working towards it. But I didn't get this way in 6 months. I'm not going to get out of this in 6 months. So I'm going to keep plugging at it, and that's been my motivation as of late. It's working because every time I hit a block or hit something I don't want to do, or I pray, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm ready, I'm good to go, and just really getting comfortable with the idea that I need to be uncomfortable and look for ways to be uncomfortable. Because comfort's gotten me to where I'm at now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, there's a quote I remember reading once, and it was, "Suffering is the only time that I'm comfortable," which is kind of like, how can you be comfortable when you're suffering? But it makes sense to me because, like, when you're suffering, when you're striving and trying, it's really difficult, but it feels right. It feels good to be chipping away at yourself as a person, almost like that picture of the guy in marble. He's encased in marble, and
Right.
he's chipping away at himself, and he's just building himself better the way he envisions himself. And that's not easy to chip away at yourself like that, but it feels right. It feels good. It's like a very noble pursuit.
It is. I mean, because it's the only body we get, and I've damaged it quite possibly irreparably in some areas, but in others, I can do something about it. So I'm trying, and here I am praying, and by God's grace, it's working. You know what I mean? And this, like, even the podcast thing has been a lot of fun, and I've tried that before. I tried doing a video channel, and because I'm a talker, that's what I do. I'm a relational guy. Let's talk, let's hang out, let's get to know each other. And it's just hard to do solo. So with Anthony and Radu agreeing to it, this has been like amazing for me, and I'm loving it. And I'm getting passionate. Like I'm editing, and hours go by, and I'm just like, oh wow, I'm getting ready to post this video, and I'm doing this and that. Where I'm at now is I'm way happier, and it's different than it looks a lot different than it did 6 months ago, 7 months ago even. So yeah, I like the trajectory I'm on. And you're right. Like, I know that now I'm uncomfortable and something's hurting for a reason, as opposed to something hurting just because I'm sitting there not doing anything. So it does make a difference too, in knowing that discomfort and pain is for a reason now, as opposed to just because I made myself that way. I'm still making myself go through that, but you know what I mean. I don't need to over-explain that.
Yeah.
So, and I've told you, like, people like you, I've always been jealous of, because I know it doesn't come easy, and you work hard for what you have, but that desire is so strong. And I feel like with me, I'm just, whatever comes along, you know what I mean? And I can think that way about a lot of things because there's so many things out of our control, but the stuff even do that with the stuff that I am in control of. And so I need to start mirroring the people I'm jealous of. Maybe when Josh said he's always wanted to be a police officer, he has. I met him when he was about 4, and yeah, he's always wanted to be a police officer since then. And he's one of the few people, if not the only one, that I've seen with a dream their entire life and make it happen. So it's been very cool, and I'm very proud of him, and it's just a blessing and a joy to see. Because Josh says he's going to do something, and it's done. Like next time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, I've already done that. Now I'm doing this," and it's like, "Cool, right on." And it's just a real honor to watch him grow up and see the man he's turned into, and continue on his journey. So, what are your aspirations from here out? Like, where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, and so yeah, and right before I talk about my aspirations, I'll kind of just talk about like my mindset with that kind of stuff. Um, I'm just afraid
Yeah,
of
please do.
sweet. I'm just afraid of like looking back one day and thinking that I could have done more and I should have been more. I could have done this for that person or made an impact here. And instead I chose to basically be selfish in my mind and just do whatever I want to do, like sleep in or watch TV. And there's nothing wrong with those things, but or be on social media instead of, I don't know, doing something more productive. But I'm just really afraid of, yeah, just almost like getting to heaven one day and God being like, well, like, good job. You could have done so much more if you just gave more. I heard a quote. I'm This is the second quote I'm bringing up. I really love quotes, but it's what I gave, what I had, I gave, what I saved, I lost. And that to me was
Mm.
really, really big because it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm just losing it. Like it's just gone. Like it could be used for good and it's just getting lost. So that's kind of always in the back of my head. I do try to push myself to do really tough things and have big goals. But okay, going to the aspirations thing. So my dog Vito is only 2 years old, so he's barely not even adult dog yet. So I'll probably be in K-9 for like another 6-ish years is my plan. And then I want to go back to the field and be a patrol officer again, and I want to be a field training officer and train new recruits. And then eventually, I'd like to promote through the department and just maybe try to work my way up. Try to maybe go as high as I can and try to enact some positive change. Um, just try to help the police with policies and support and different things, tactics and training and just um hopefully some wisdom by then, hopefully God willing, and hopefully be able to help APD out. And then even further than that, I'm thinking maybe one day try to do politics one day. I'd be really interested in maybe running for office, like something like mayor or maybe like a senator or a representative or something like that. I think would be really, really cool.
That is very
It's
cool.
cool. It's admirable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a
Yeah,
lot of laws and policies I hear about, and I just
so many.
they're evil and just wrong and just, yeah.
Right. The ones we know about, especially as a public. Um, I don't know how many people dig into some of the laws that are out there. And Tom, even on our last episode with Tom, he opened our eyes quite a bit to some of the laws that are out there, and a couple of new ones that just came out in 2024. So make sure to look at that podcast. That episode is episode number 4. Tom is the name of it, on Three Minds One Mic. So go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. But
Sweet.
yeah, very interesting stuff. And common, we don't know about that stuff. They don't, even when they do put out a bill, like here's the big beautiful bill and this bill and that bill, and there's so much stuff in it that they don't talk about that gets signed into law. They sign into these laws all kinds of stuff that we don't know about. They're saying, hey, look at this law we're going to sign in, it's going to be great and everybody's going to love it. Then they put this stuff in there over here, and then 5 years later you find out, oh, that's That's law now. That's been in there. They can do that. So it's kind of interesting. So I'm sure you know probably a lot more than the regular man does, being in law enforcement and stuff like that. Maybe to an extent, not to the like political side of stuff where federal laws are being made every day and changed and all this stuff. Unless could be wrong about that. Do you have any insight into that lawmaking and like how much federal influence is on APD? Is on a city level department?
Well, for about 10 years, the Department of Justice, maybe a little more than 10 years, was basically had a consent decree over APD, and they were kind of making a lot of changes in policies and how we did things. But that finally ended, actually, I believe this year, and so they're out. So they're, of course, we have our federal case law that governs like our search and seizure and our force and things like that. But outside of that, the feds don't really have too much of a voice here.
Cool. I was always wondering about that because of that, especially because of the DOJ being here. For I didn't know how kind of all that stuff to work. I know we have our own constitution and stuff too. Every state does. And does Albuquerque do constitutions go as far down as cities, or do they just kind of stop at state level? Do you know?
Yeah. But the governor and the mayor have a lot of say of what we do. Like if they're going to say make this a sanctuary city, then it's going to change what we can and can't do with things like that. So
Oh, okay.
we do still have quite a bit of outside influence.
Well, outside of the city, but within the state.
Right.
Is that what you mean? Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, especially Albuquerque being the largest city in the state, you would think. There was a show called Chicago. I don't know if you ever saw it. I'm sorry, it was called Boss. It was about the mayor of Chicago, and it was fictional. You know what I mean? But it showed because Chicago is such. It's pretty much the moneymaker for all of Illinois. So he had a lot of say in government, and as far as the state politics went, the mayor of Chicago did in this show. And I kind of picture that's how it would be, because we kind of money rules everything around here, and in our politics especially. I think. And, once again, all this is my opinion. We get people on like Tom that throw some facts at us. That's awesome. I'm open for them, and I'll change my opinion. But in the meantime, that's my opinion as far as politics goes. Money speaks the loudest, and yeah, in this show, Boss kind of represented that. I'm Chicago. The state would be nothing without me, kind of a mentality, and it was just interesting how it played out on TV. So I didn't know New Mexico's got quite a few, three really large cities that might impact, or four now with Rio Rancho. But I consider like Las Cruces, Santa Fe, Albuquerque, Rio Rancho the biggest cities within New Mexico. And I would think that they would have quite a bit of say in our state politics as well.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because those cities are so populated, they end up having such a high sway with the counties that they're in, with the way they vote and the county, So yeah. When I was talking about laws, I was kind of talking like laws that are kind of annoying to deal with are like basically catch and release policies, funding that goes into certain things, like for example, I remember our chief recently saying that APD arrests more people than the jail can hold, and more people than the district attorney's office can even prosecute. So, kind of the other pillars of the criminal justice system just kind of are buckling under the weight, which makes it really difficult for us because we'll arrest a guy and then he's out in 8 hours, and you're like, okay.
Back at it. So it's almost like doing all that work and all that effort and all that safety putting into stuff and getting these criminals, but then you're doing the same exact thing with the same exact criminal the next day. That's got to be frustrating. I mean, that's really got to make you feel like you're beating your head against the wall, kind of a thing.
It can be frustrating. So yeah, just trying to I think one day just figuring out like how funding is allocated and how like catch and release laws work and basically like how we prosecute cases and what we can do to make that better. That would be a goal of mine one day. We'll see.
All right. That would be good. I think there are some, like, I remember in the 90s, Clinton enforced the law on a lot of things, and that actually started including juveniles into the, into the penal system. So in the 90s, you saw a huge rise in young people entering the system, whether it be through, CYFD, the juvenile courts, or even whatever, depending on what they did. And so that's really increased our prison size. And I think prison for profit is a reason for that. You know what I mean? Because they have private entities that take over these prisons, and they're charging the government however much to get funded, but then they're cutting costs and cutting back on the prisons so that they can pocket more money. And so that leads to all kinds of stuff where prisoners getting more rights and prisoners being heard more because they're being neglected. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, I struggle with that too. Like, if you weren't in jail, this wouldn't be happening. So why, you know what I mean? Like, that liar, liar. Did you ever see the movie Liar, Liar? When you can't lie? And he's like, stop breaking the law, asshole. You know what I mean? It's like there's some of that. But at the same time, I'm a grace guy too, and it's hard to reconcile that justice and grace on something. So I think if they did adjust the laws, maybe in some states, in some cases, that might help with that catch and relief or the over occupancy of our jails, or maybe even just changing policy on how prison system is run. Would probably do a lot for that too. So, like Tom said, none of it's gray. None of it's black and white. There's a lot of gray in there, and there's so much that we don't even understand about it. But I do want to have Kim on eventually, pretty soon, because she knows quite a bit about the prison system, working in it for so well. So we can get some insight from her as well.
Yeah,
it's just interesting because I hear Kim a lot, so it's interesting hearing your side of it too, on the street and then in the courts and in the prison. So it's not the greatest system in the world for sure, but I'm definitely sure it's probably not the worst one either.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I definitely want to stay out of it. So I'll do my best.
Yeah, me too.
So you're a single guy, let's go a little deeper on that. What do you do, like, for fun? So you said you go snowboarding, you hang out with friends. What do you do when you hang out with friends? Do you have food? Do you just go to a park? Do you go play catch? Do you play golf? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, like Chris and I, for example, will go to church, go to a restaurant, watch a movie. Oftentimes, we'll just hang out, play video games, talking, catching up. Um, don't get to work out as much anymore, unfortunately. He's a pro fighter, very, very good pro fighter. Hopefully, we'll get him more fights. But we used to work out a lot, go to MMA practice together, lift together. But now our schedules are so different. But so yeah, that's what I do with him, and then with other friends, I'll play board games. Maybe go to a concert. Anthony and I will go to rock concerts sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So, would you say you're overall fulfilled in life right now? I mean, sounds like it. Sounds like you got some good things going. So you put yourself into some good places and continue to look for those good things in life.
Yeah, definitely. I feel fulfilled. If God is a huge part of that. Just trusting God and knowing God's with me, and yeah, just trying to be close to God, serve people. And I think when you're focused on other people, you are fulfilled. It's when you're very selfish and you're very tuned into yourself. That's when you might feel unfulfilled. So
Right. Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Altruism has its place, even in the psychological world and the secular world. Giving of yourself or helping out others, volunteering. Psychiatrists will tell people that a lot, like if they're depressed and stuff too. So it's like, we'll try to go out and volunteer a little bit or go help somebody out, because getting that focus off yourself, like Josh just said, putting it on someone else, it's godly for one thing, I believe, but it's also shown on the secular level to be something very beneficial for us, which I see a lot lately. I see this Bible written a long time ago, years ago, thousands of years ago, and so much of it is relevant to today because human behavior doesn't change, and we can see that too. I mean, in the individual, it can, and it takes a lot for that to happen, I think. But then even as society as a whole, we've changed quite a bit, but we're still. I feel like I just wanted to Trump right there. We changed a lot, but we're still doing the thing. I can't do a Trump impression. We have changed a lot as a society, but I think on the individual basis, humanity behaviors, we're not creatures of change. And so it's been interesting more as I've gotten older, seeing this in life, how these writings from so long ago, and some people just think are ridiculous. It holds very true today. Very true. Even outside of a biblical context, but the Bible just tells you why it works, I think. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's about it. That's about all I got. You guys want to?
No.
Do you guys normally talk about your aspirations, or did you guys kind of already go over that in a prior podcast?
We just go with it. I mean, we can talk about it. It's not against anything. I don't know if we've ever actually, we did our intro video, just kind of letting people know who we are and why we're doing this channel. I kind of gave you a little bit about my aspirations right now of doing the podcast and getting myself healthier and see what opportunities open up and how that goes. Radu's moving. That's his aspiration right now. To get past that. But yeah, you can ask. You can ask us.
Yeah, sweet, Radu. If you want to, I'd love to hear what's going on with you and what your dreams and goals are right now.
Just mostly just work, the move, like we discussed before. So that's taking up most of my time right now. So I'm looking forward to that, to moving into the new house and doing all the work, because it needs a little bit of work. So there's going to be some painting and laying down new floors, getting adjusted to the new environment over there in Northern Virginia. But I try to be a kind person always. Not cause any trouble. Be good to the wife. Yeah.
Northern Virginia sounds beautiful. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've been there a few times. It's nice. Yeah, it's crowded because it's close to DC, so it's kind of like an outskirt of DC. So it's a pretty crowded place. But it's nice. There are lots of stores, lots of people, lots of vegetation. It's also close to the water, so you can go to the beach. Well, actually, I don't know if there are that many beaches around DC, but if you go a little bit further south in Virginia, they have Virginia Beach, like Yorktown, Newport News, where there's actually a Navy shipbuilding operation, very large shipbuilding operation. I think they do maybe even carriers over there.
Wow. So
that's also a very busy area, a very economically important area. So yeah, I mean, Virginia's it's a big state, physically and economically speaking. I guess maybe not as big as New Mexico or Texas or something. Yeah.
Land-wise, yeah.
Land-wise, probably not as large, but I guess economically speaking, it's pretty large. And you also have a lot of the politicians from DC that live in Virginia. So there's a lot of money and power going around in Virginia.
Okay.
It's interesting. Yeah. Anytime I've ever seen Virginia portrayed, it's always, some mountain folk, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people might have that image of Virginia as just this mountainous, Ozarky kind of place, when it's actually quite a bit to it.
Yeah. They certainly have that for sure. Yeah, like if you go westwards, yeah, they have the mountains there, and um, yeah, but it's a diverse place for sure. Yeah.
Have you found any good Romanian spots in New York?
Um, there are a few restaurants. Yeah. Um, I've been to a few of them. It's never quite like home, you know. I guess really any restaurant they don't really quite cook like grandma used to cook, but they're pretty good.
Do you miss that home cooked, that home Romanian food?
I do, yeah, yeah. I don't really cook. I've tried a couple of things here and there. It's never quite like my mom or my grandma used to cook, um,
Mm.
but I've tried. So, but when I go to Romania, that's when I like to splurge and have everything that I don't really get here.
How's the married life?
It's good. It's good. I like it. Yeah, no complaints so far. So we've been married for about 4 years now. Um, yeah, and
Almost 5, right? Or is it almost 4? The end of this month.
it's almost 4 at the end of this month. Yeah, December 21st is it's 4 years. But we've also been together before we got married for maybe 3 years or so. So we were living together anyway. So practically not much has changed from that perspective. It's I guess that the only difference now we have that piece of paper and the rings, but we were committed to each other even before that. Um,
What's been the most rewarding part of being married?
um, I guess having somebody that understands me, I understand her. Um, we get along with each other and we try to improve each other. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's important to understand the other person and learn good things from the other person. Also, try to you yourself be also a good person that the other person can look up to or learn good things from you. Um, so it's kind of a back and forth thing.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys are getting closer together as time goes on, or how does that feel like? How what's
Um,
that like?
yeah, absolutely. Also, just I guess maybe this is for when we first got together. Just gradually get more comfortable with each other, um, being more and more open with each other. Um, Now that we've been together for a few years, that's it's kind of like um, almost fully developed. But in the beginning, it's a gradual process of getting comfortable with each other and learning to open up to the other person. That's also a bit of sometimes you have to make an effort to open up. At least for me, anyway. Maybe for some other people, no, but for me, yeah. Um, so
Do you feel
I
like
think
it
it's
takes a
hard.
lot of? Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, Dad. Go ahead.
No, that's right. I just think it's hard for some people to be vulnerable and open up. So you're right. And when you find someone that you can comfortably do that with, it's pretty amazing.
yeah, exactly. It's a great feeling for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that like safety and security of knowing like the commitment that you guys have and the connection is great.
Yeah, because it's something that you don't have with many other people. um it's kind of a unique thing, that unique kind of a connection that you have with your partner.
And what country is she from again?
She's from Bolivia.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Does she
South
cook any good
America.
Bolivian food?
um not so much. We're neither one of us is a is a great cook. She's better than me for sure. But yeah, I guess not so much, because also I guess cooking Bolivian food is a little bit more involved. It takes a lot of time, so we don't really have that much time to cook elaborate things. So we keep it pretty simple. But we do go to Bolivian restaurants, and especially around DC, there's a large Bolivian population, and they have a few restaurants. So whenever we're in DC, we go there and we have some Bolivian food, which is really good.
What's been the toughest part of being married,
Ooh, the
or
toughest
some
part.
challenges?
Well, I guess learning what frustrates the other person. Maybe like she might get annoyed at something, then I kind of have to figure out what's the thing that annoyed her. Is it something I did, or is it like something unrelated to me? Sometimes that's kind of difficult to figure out. But in the end, we do, and then we talk about it. So I'll ask, if was it something I said or did? Could I do something different next time? That kind of thing.
Nice.
What do you guys enjoy doing together? What are your guys'
Oh.
hobbies that you have together?
Oh, we travel, shopping. Seems like grocery shopping is a hobby now because we do it all the time. So, just driving around. Sometimes when we get bored, just get in the car, listen to music, drive around. We like to go to the city. Just recently, we saw the Rockettes in the city, the Christmas spectacular. So we like to go there every year.
Wow.
I mean, we've been there for like 3 times, so it's not like every year, but recently we tried to do that. Yeah.
Are you gonna, when you're in Virginia, are you gonna try to make trips back around Christmas to do that, or?
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to, because New York City in Christmas, it's special. DC is not like that. But New York City it's great during Christmas. It has that special feeling that I haven't found anywhere else.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they do stuff in DC, right? They decorate, they have a tree, they do all that, but it's just not.
For sure. Yeah. For sure they do. Yeah. But the city is more like, I don't know, more alive, more lively, even though it's a little bit dirty and messy and crowded. There's still something about it that DC just doesn't have.
Wow. That's cool.
So, yeah.
What kind of music do you guys like to listen to together?
All sorts of music.
Gypsy
music. Some of that too, yeah. Some Latin music, of course. Lately, since I lived in Italy for a while, I got into Italian music, so I listen to that all the time in the car. Some Romanian music. Really anything. Pop music. American music is great too. So we just like to mix it up.
Is there an Italian or a Romanian band that you would recommend for us to check out?
Italian. There are a whole bunch. There's some Italian.
Been holding back.
Yeah. But I listen to all kinds of music.
Have any other questions, Josh? Want to Anthony or me or Radu?
Nope.
No, it's cool talking to you guys.
It's very cool talking with you, and thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good.
It's fun, yeah.
So I'm gonna do this now, and I might start doing this with guests in the future, but one last thing you want to say to the viewers out there, whatever it is, go ahead.
God bless you guys. That's it.
Right on. Good enough. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Josh, on 3 Minds, 1 Mic, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Goodbye.